All right, I was trying to decide what I was going to do for video or videos today, and I looked at my boxes that I need to unbox, and I said, this is it. So this unboxing is from Justin Cornelius. And first off, got some gloves. Yeah, these are good. Yep, yep. Very good. Thank you, thank you. I still use that type of glove even though I've got the other type. Even though I do like these, but uh, the Obsidian, I find it does penetrate into the gloves, and there's a little bit of the Obsidian that gets through there, and it's itchy. The other gloves are better for spalling. These are good for the fine detail work, but the spalling is better with the leather. Okay, let's see. So some of this requires that I test it out a little bit. Okay, yeah, this is some root beer from Danny Collins. It looks like this is root beer from Danny Collins. And he asks, "Would you heat treat?" Well, in order to answer that question, I need to check it out. Let me see. Let me see if I would heat treat. This is one of my favorite parts, actually, figuring out what I got. No, I probably would not heat treat this stuff. Hold on. Can't do it just with one strike. I need to figure this out. So it's got different consistencies. The best is under the cortex, and looks like it gets a little bit tougher in the middle. Let me see if I would heat treat it. I still don't know. It looks pretty good like it is. I don't know yet. Hold on. No, I would not heat treat this. Nope. This is good like this. Although it can be heat treated. I personally would not unless it starts getting really finicky during the thinning stage. Heat treat makes it a little bit easier to thin down at the final stages in some cases. So if I get down to the thinning stage and this starts to get all steppy or crispy or crunchy, then yeah, I would try some heat treat, try some heat on it, see if it is less steppy. But if it snaps easily, like the flakes snap, I take off a flake, and if it snaps in half a lot when it's after it's heat treated, if these kind of flakes snap in half after heat treating, it's not that great, even though it may be less crunchy. It depends, right? Not all root beer heat treats the same. But no, I would not heat treat this. Okay, to answer the question, I would just try to nap this raw. And if it gave me trouble, then I would heat treat. Yeah, but right off the bat, it looks pretty darn good. It's tough. Yeah, it'll wear out your tools, but there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, it's good. Ball mason jar bottom. I didn't want to snap it. Oh, come on. You gotta snap a little bit. So that's what they mean by that. I don't know what symbol that is. But yeah, it almost looks like it's cracked, but no, it's not. Let's see. Let's take some bits off of this with my fancy Mike Tufts bopper so I can see. Yeah, it looks like good glass. Is there bad glass? Yeah, bad glass just doesn't feel as smooth. Yeah, this is good stuff. Yeah, it should work fine. It's hard to explain what bad glass feels like, but it's difficult to nap, right? The bad stuff, it's not really that bad. It's just tempered in a weird way. It's hard to remove flakes, and when you do remove them, they act weird. But this just acts like regular glass. Yeah, there's no weirdness to it. And after I've been doing this a while, so I can tell when it's acting kind of weird. When you're new, you might not be able to tell. Okay. But it's not acting weird. It's acting pretty good. A few pads, I think they're close to your design. Let me know. All right. Oh yeah, very close. These are more highly domed than mine though. But this is pretty good. Yeah. This is very close to mine. I round off everything though. That's why people ask me, is it a biscuit? Is it a hardtack? Is this all rounded off like a cookie? Yeah, I round off the bottoms also, just like the tops. This is a little bit more domed than I make them though. Yeah, these are a little bit more domed. This one is pretty good here. It's got a low dome to it. Why do I like a low dome? Because I don't want the points to be rocking back and forth too much. I'll show you. See, I don't want them rocking back and forth like this too much. Why? Because I tend to snap them that way a little bit. If I think that I need a lot of pressure, right? I accidentally put a little bit too much pressure on one side. I don't want it to be hanging out too much because it will snap it. I'm not that coordinated with my fingers, right? So it needs to be a little less domed. This is better. Yeah, much better because it doesn't rock as much. Yeah, this one rocks more. And it's more wobbly too. If it's too domed and too wobbly, I don't have good results. It's got to be in betweener, not too flat, not too round. And this one looks pretty good. I'll probably use this one a lot, except I got to round off the bottom. Okay, yeah, but they're good. I gotta look and see. These are good. Uh, this one, this one is less domed than the other ones. It takes me a while to make my pads because I sit there and mess with them for a while. See how mine is? It's flat now, pretty much, because it's worn out. But you can see there's a difference there. Yeah, I need to get another piece of leather, stick it on this, because the middle is getting worn out. It still has some ability to rock a little bit back and forth, so it is slightly domed. But once it starts getting too flat, I have to change out the leather. I usually keep the wood for a while. If I compare it to mine, Mine's a little bit longer, but the width is the same. You know, the width is good, but mine is a little bit, you know, longer. But this one still feels pretty good. Yeah. I don't know, I gotta check. I gotta check with Justin to see. I might just sell these. We'll see what happens. Yeah. See what happens. Or we'll communicate by email and see what we're gonna do with those. Travis's yard rock. Okay. Oh dang. This looks cool. This is chert. Yeah. All right, let's nap on it a little bit. Shall we? Let's shall. Yes, yes. Okay. That heater, hold on. Hold on, I gotta move the heater a little bit. Yeah, it turned off, but oh well. Anyways, yeah, it was right on my face, which I like when I first get in here, but I don't like it when I'm out, when I'm starting to feel the sweat stage. I am already with this because it's already kind of thin. I'm going to take off a flake and see how it is. It looks like pretty good stuff. If this is the stuff he finds in his yard, dang, that's good. Yeah. Yeah. It's going to work out well. And I suppose it's not heat treat, right? Because I don't see any notes about heat treating. This is a good piece. Now, what is it? It just looks like chert to me, but it, you know, it could have a fancy name. It could be some kind of agatized something or other. I don't think it's petrified wood, but who knows? I'm not a geologist. I don't know. I don't care. I just know if it naps or not, and this naps well. Yep. And if it's raw, you don't have to heat treat it. It's even better. Yeah. Why is it better? Less of a hassle. The heat treating is kind of a hassle. Not to mention, if you do a lot of heat treating, it increases your electric bill by more than you might expect. Yeah. It looks a little bit crunchy. But that's pretty typical of chert. Nothing a little strategic flaking can't fix. You know, hit where you know it can reach. You're going to make sure the ending of the flake is going to be able to reach what you're trying to hit. So the length of the flakes, I think I can hit the middle. Let's see if I can thin that down right there. Yeah. There we go. If I can do that and say, voila, it's good stuff. Yes, it is. Now, when it gets down to the nitty gritty, is it going to be good? I don't know. I haven't. This is not down to the nitty gritty yet. No. Right when you think you must have full cooperation is when the rock usually does not fully cooperate. Yeah. Exactly when it needs to be fully cooperative, it will not be. In many cases. So I don't know yet if it's really good material until it gets down to that stage. But let's see. I need it to be fully cooperative to remove this little crunchiness on here. So let's see if it actually does it, or if I can actually do that. Yeah, these days I blame a lot of the issues on the rock itself, because I know I can do it. I know that it is the rock in many cases. I have enough experience, and I'm starting to get that experience to know if it's the rock or it's me. It took long enough, but I think I'm getting it. After 15 years, yeah. I still can't believe I've been napping that long. But yeah, after that much time, you get to know if it's the rock that's not cooperative or your technique just is bad. All right. I can see why you're having trouble with that area. It's not consistent. Needs a lot of force. So one of the issues might be once you get down to the nitty gritty, and if you need a lot of force, you might not be able to get the flakes you want because you can't use a lot of force during the final stages. If it requires a lot of force, this is just common sense. If it requires a lot of force to blast through the nasty areas and requires a thick edge in order to make use of all that force, it's not going to work well during the final thinning stages where it's very, very thin on the edge and there's not much meat on there. It's just common sense. If it needs a lot of force to remove good flakes, you're not going to be able to remove good flakes when you're in a position to not use a lot of force, or you can't use a lot of force. If you can't use a lot of force and it requires it, you're going to run into problems. I just want to make sure that's clear. Yeah, this requires a lot of force to blast through the inconsistent areas. So getting this really, really thin is going to be an issue. It's going to be a problem. But of course, everyone wants to get these pieces really, really thin. I know. You might not be able to. Not the way you want to, anyway. It can get really, real thin with a lot of step fracturing. But I'm assuming that you don't want any step fracturing. Yeah. This might take me a while to figure this out. Let's switch to a smaller tip. I'm going to clean out all my stuff next week. All these boxes are closing in on me. These boxes I've been getting in the mail because I've got my other stuff, my other projects on the outside of these boxes around the walls of my shop. I'm gonna clean everything out. Yeah, next week, or let's say this coming Tuesday and Wednesday. I did half of my clean out last Tuesday and Wednesday. Now I'm gonna do the other half. All right, let's see if this cooperates. All right, I don't know. Don't like it. Did it do it? Ha! I think it did it. Yeah, I think it's gonna do it. So a sharper tip concentrates the force a little bit more because it needs a lot of force to remove obstacles. Right, so it's just common sense to focus more energy in a smaller spot. That way it translates to more force attacking the obstacle. It's still risky to do that when it's thin. Okay, so keep that in mind. Just because you can increase the amount of force in a small area with a smaller tip doesn't mean it's safer in terms of not snapping it in half. Okay, it's not safer. It just focuses the force more in a smaller area. It'll help you get rid of those obstacles. And then I'm assuming I'll be able to get it from the other side now. I'm assuming it. We shall see. Yeah, you can still snap a point in half even with a small tip. You can still also get bunches of step fractures. But reducing the size of the tip is just one way to attack the obstacle. It doesn't always work. I'm just giving you the reasons behind using it. Okay, so it needs a lot of force. There it goes. I gotta wind up a lot more than that. It worries me because could be snapping halfish. I got a lot more to go, so I don't want to take too long. This, but I like this material. It is a challenging kind of crunchy material. Yeah, it's not too bad though. Now it might have some bad, inconsistent spots in it. It looks okay. I just hesitated to hit it really, really hard. All right. Oops. Yikes. Let's creep up on this. Ooh, the copper deposits on it really badly. You gotta watch that. Okay, there we go. So it can be managed. Yeah. So it's good. But the copper deposits itself a lot on this. That means it takes its toll on the tools. But it's good stuff. Yeah, I can see there's crunchy areas and inconsistent spots and nasties. Let me see. Let me see if I can get a big flake. I gotta take all this crystal pocket stuff out of here. It's kind of curved too. See the crystal in there? I gotta take that out. All right, let's see. There might be natural cracks in it. It's all right. Okay, here we go. Yeah. It's acting just like chert. Except it feels more like it feels a little bit like raw Burlington. Yikes, that's not good. Yeah. Need a stronger edge. I need a stronger edge for what I wanted to do there. Let's use a smaller bopper. Let's see. Why? I don't know. I need to swing it fast. So that overshot it. It's very very hard, but it is nappable. Yeah. It's gonna eat through the tools quickly. Yep. It's curved, so I'm gonna lose some length. Yep, it's got inconsistent spots in it. It's very brittle, but it can be napped. Yeah. All right. I don't recommend a lot of width on this stuff, but it looks pretty good. Yeah, it does. And I bet you it gets a little bit better with heat treatment, but I wouldn't heat treat it right away. Not unless you're getting sick of it. Then you heat treat it to break up the monotony. All right, so Danny's Buffalo River heat treat. I've done that before already. LQR Burlington collected it in East Iowa. Yikes. Yeah, this is Burlington. It's different than this chert. Yeah. This is a lot finer. This is rough. Let's see what it does. Oh yeah. It is low grade stuff. You can't have these voids in it. You gotta take them all out. I'm using a smaller bopper because I've got to swing really hard, and I'm not used to using the big bopper with hard swings yet. Not until I'm fully back into using chert. I need to be snapping a bunch of chert with a larger bopper to get a better feel for it. Because if I don't have a good feel for the larger one, I'll miss and I'll hit it wrong. Yeah, I won't be able to get that kind of accuracy either. Anyways, that's why I'm using the small bopper. Even though it's a little bit more difficult to knock these pieces off, it feels more comfortable in my hand because that's what I've been using lately. Okay. I know guys that nap this stuff raw. You see it at nap-ins. Alrighty. It's not bad quality stuff. I've napped a lot worse. As far as Burlington goes. At nap-ins, you find a lot of this stuff in the raw state. I think it requires a lot of heat. I'm not sure though. But yeah, I would definitely heat treat this. Dang it. Yes, there it goes. It is nappable. Yes, it is. It's not consistent, so that's the only problem. Yeah, to get anything big out of it, it's going to be tough. But it is nappable, or it was nappable. You can tell the different grades from the bottom and the top. Sometimes when you're napping and it's got a different grade on one side or the other, when you take a flake, it'll dig into the good stuff too much. And this may have already been pre-cracked by this long flake. It could have dived into that one area. It looks like that's what it did. Caused a weakness. So when I hit it here, it just opened up that crack even more. Yeah. That's probably what happened. It was a diving flake. Yeah. Would heat treatment make it easier to nap that without breaking it? Yes. In many cases, yes. With all cases, no. Not in all cases. Some cases it makes it more brittle. So it breaks it half easier. Obsidian. Snap and halfish. Oh, mahogany. Yeah, this is the snap and halfish type stuff for sure. But it's not, doesn't look bad. You scooped it. Somebody scooped it. This is like pumpkin color. Yeah. Yeah, this is what I've been napping. This, not exactly this type of obsidian, but this is a lot like that buttery stuff. I like the feel of this type of obsidian. Yeah, this is like that black and gray buttery stuff. Just so you know. It's going to be difficult for me to get a flat biface out of it. Yikes. Somebody scooped it a lot. Yeah. Yikes. Okay. It's gonna require a little bit of creativity here to do this with the minimum amount of flaking. That's usually my goal, to use the minimum amount of flaking to get these things bifaced. In other words, I don't want to spend all day. Okay. It's not, I don't think it's going to be snap and halfish. Not too bad. I'm going to leave it a little bit thick. And I have to take some off the ends, probably a little bit more just to get it straight, but we'll see. Maybe not too much. Maybe I don't need to remove too much off the ends. Yeah. Okay. It is high grade stuff. Yeah. It is high grade stuff, wherever you got it from. It's good. Okay. Yeah. High grade stuff. Yeah, it is kind of snap and halfish though, to answer your question, because these flakes, some of them are holding together, some of them are not, so I'm tending to think that if you don't keep it thick, it will be snap and halfish. This side over here is less wonky than this side, so I'm going to trim it back, favoring that. I try keeping this side. If I'm going to make it more narrow, I'll remove this side rather than this side. Why do I need to make it more narrow? So I can reach the middle more easily, so I don't have to shoot with large flakes and with lots of force. Yeah. If I need to use lots of force, you know what happens? that's what breaks these things. So you try to keep it narrow so you don't have to use a lot of force. Yeah. Okay. Dicey. It's dicey. I might have ground it down too much. Don't grind it so much. I know, I know. Crunching much. No, don't do that. Bad step fracture. Bad step fracture. It's not in a good spot. Well, it naps easy, actually. I thought it was not going to nap this easily. The step fracture is still in a bad spot. But I think I can get it smoothened out. Might have to live with some of that scoopiness. Instead of getting it all out, I might have to live with a little bit of that scoopiness in there. And just minimize it. If you can't beat them, minimize them. Yeah. Okay, come on. Yeah. Just gotta make sure I don't get any step fractures at this point. It's starting to get thin. These flakes are getting to be very important. Important that I don't mess it up. Yeah, the way you preserve length on these is to make 2 points. You know, a point on each end, I mean. That's how you maximize the length. As a general strategy, if you make a double pointed blade, it tends to maximize, or allows you to maximize the length more easily. Yeah. I mean, it just naturally ends up being that way. Where did that file go? Yeah, it does snap like the buttery stuff. So that's good. It's good that I already know what to expect. Yeah. It does crush, though. Just like the buttery stuff. All right, so I won't go any further on this unboxing, but you get the idea. I'm going to have to leave a lot of that scoop out in there, but I can minimize it. Yeah, I just won't thin it down anymore in this area. I'll thin this a little bit more, take some off the bottom here, or get it as straight as possible. I'll need to take some of that out here for sure. And the rest of it is pretty straight. It's just a matter of simple strategy. Not an easy strategy, but a simple strategy on thinning the base in the stem area. Yeah, I have to leave some of that in there. But it doesn't look bad to minimize these. Just it's a little bit slightly wonky. Okay, what's next? Obsidian again. This is actually good stuff. I like this stuff. Yeah, I like it. It's a defect in it. It's not too bad. But yeah, nap these defects out. Don't even worry about them. Just don't even worry about working around them or whatever. Just nap them away. Yeah, just nap it out of there. It's good. It's good high grade stuff. It's just a little bit delicate, so I would not go too thin on this with a large blade. Okay, what's the length on this blade? 6 inches or something? 5.5. Yeah, just keep it in this range and you should be all right. I didn't feel like that was reaching any kind of critical danger. Coke bottle bottom glass, 1965 to 77. It's the older stuff. Yeah, let's see. There's a bottle dump that I can go to. It's mostly amber bottles, but I think I might be able to get some of that Coke bottle stuff. Yeah. It's nice stuff. I'm not going to nap it on here because it's pretty typical of the glass. Filler. What is filler? What does that mean? Oh, and by the way, this is well packaged. Very well packaged, so none of this got damaged. Oh, this is just to fill the space up, I suppose. Okay. What are you doing? What are you doing? I think I see what you're doing. That's okay. It's very slick. This stuff feels really nice, but it is really slick, so copper has a hard time gripping onto it. Just like, let's see, rock challenge, almost snappable. Found this eroding out of a sandstone in Iowa along the Des Moines River. Okay, let's see. Okay, I said it's almost snappable. All right, let's see. Well, I can see. Yeah, this is man rock. Mm-hmm. 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 Don't ask me what it is, okay? I mean, it reminds me of Rhyolite, but I don't think it's Rhyolite. I don't know what it is. Except a little bit nappable. It's a lot like floor tile. Except tougher. And it has a kind of a weird smell. Oh, it's got that kind of consistency. Interesting. Like a sandstone. It's like a silicified sandstone, but lower grade. Some silicified sandstones are high grade and nap well. Not as high grade as flint, of course, but some of the silicified sandstones, they nap well. This one is not in that category, but some of this stuff, some of these areas are more easily napped than other areas. Yeah, I'm finding that out already. And it's interesting that it rubs off that easily. It rubs off as easily as rainy buttes, that kind of thing. Let's see. It doesn't require as much force as Rhyolite, but you do need a good edge, or it's not going to run a flake. You'll crush the edge. Let's see what I can do. This is going to eat through my tools, but oh well. It grinds down easy. A Rhyolite does the same thing, but to try to get a flake to remove, it's not that easy. Even when it grinds down easy, it gives you a good surface to seat the tool. Just try different amounts of grinding and different size of the tool tips, different amounts of force. You know, with a new material, you just gotta try subtle little things that might help. Right now, I'm just trying to see how I can run flakes on this. How the flakes run, if they're running okay or not. So far, it's not all that great. I got a rock challenge coming up. I'm going to be doing everything only with indirect percussion, from the shaping to the final finishing to the sharpening. Everything with indirect percussion. I was asked to do that because he's having trouble with pressure flaking, physical trouble pressure flaking. So I said, okay, I'll do the start to finish with indirect percussion, because that's right up my alley. Yeah, I like doing everything with only indirect percussion. You know, some of my old videos are like that. Very little pressure flaking. I can do one that has zero pressure flaking. And I think just by looking at some of the artifacts that it was done that way in the past, just only percussion, no pressure. with either direct or indirect percussion. But yeah, it looked like back in the day, some of the points were made with only percussion, including the little side notches. You can do those with percussion if they're wide enough. As long as you're not doing narrow notching on the sides. Although you can do that with indirect percussion as well. I need to make a couple more notching tools. Okay, I can tell this is going to be a little bit. A little bit stubborn down here on the base. Everything else looks okay. Yikes. A little bit more. A little bit more. Would it have been better if I used a thicker tool to begin with? You never know. Maybe. But I don't think so. I think it's just stubborn no matter what. And you can snap the tips off. You know, little mama had a baby and her head popped off. You can do that with this kind of point, even though it's not that long. Okay. Ready? Oh, they didn't do it. I didn't do it. See, I don't want to get. I don't want to try from the side because it'll make it too narrow. I want to try to keep it as wide as I can to show the possibilities. It's cheating if I go really narrow in the beginning. Yeah. Try to keep it as wide as possible. And when you got a stubborn area, you're going to have to dish out the base or whatever it's called. Concavitize the base. And I don't want to use a larger flaker because it can pop the tip off by hitting too hard down here. All right, so that takes care of that area as far as thickness goes. Now it's just a matter of making it look prettier. Yeah, that's not good. It looks like it can be sharpened. Yeah. Come on. Come on. Come on. You're not that tough. I didn't mean to take that barb off, but it is what it is. Right? Right. It wants to try to do it. Okay. It does want to try to get thin. Yeah. Yeah. It does want to cooperate slightly. I'll give it that, but it's not that pretty. Yeah. But it'll get sharp. You're just going to have to be a little bit crude, that's all. There's not much you can do. Not much you can do to make it fancy. Although some people like the look of it. You can't really sell these crude looking ones. Yikes, this side is not cooperative at all. So one side wants to work with me and the other side says, no, I don't think so. Come on. Floor tile's better than you. You should be ashamed of yourself. Shame, shame on you. Floor tile's better than you are. An artificial stone is better than you. You're the real thing. You should be ashamed of yourself. Yeah. Floor tile is about a 5 on a scale of 1 to 10. So I would say this is a 4 in ineffability. Yeah. Golly. This side, I tell you. Crunchy munch. Yeah, it's not cooperative at all on this side. And does that mean it has a grain to it? No, it just means that area is pretty tough. It's inconsistent, so you're not going to get cooperation out of it. It tried to do it. It tried. I really hammered those flakes across, but they didn't want to venture into this territory. And I can see why now. It's very hostile. Yeah. That's about the best it can do, I think. But it's not bad material. I mean, I've napped a lot worse. Yeah. It looks very similar. Yeah. It can be napped. I don't know about this stuff, though. This one looks pretty bad. Yeah, you've given it some good tries. This is going to be maybe for another day. I'll see what I can do. I'll try to refine it as much as possible on another video. Okay, if I remember. It's a big if. If I remember, don't in my dumb brain. All right. 2 belt knives. I love them. Oh, dang. Oh, look at that. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Hefty and usable. Yeah. Is that the same stuff? That's the same stuff, isn't it? Yeah, it looks like it. Well, it might not be. It looks like it, though. Oh, yes. This looks like that, yeah, Coastal Plains, Georgia chert. Nice. Pine pitch and sinew. What is that wood? That's awesome. Mm-hmm. Very cool. All right. Let's see. Let's put all this back. Very nice. Thank you. Yeah, thanks, Justin. From Iowa. Okay. Where's the stuff that won't break? Buffalo River heat treat. Root beers. Bottle glass. Raw yard rock. It's not too bad. I like this obsidian a lot. Cinnamon colored obsidian or pumpkin obsidian. It's one of those two. Probably called pumpkin. Yeah. That's what I would think. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, get the good pieces back in here. Put this on the side. Yeah. Some of these larger, usable flakes. The rest of them, yeah, I got too many of those. Yeah, these, I got too many crud flakes. Stuff that's too thin. Yeah, this kind of stuff. If I can snap it with my fingers, it's a little bit too thin. All right, there you go. Awesome.